Hi guys, this is Minerva and welcome back to our channel. So today we'll be delving a little bit in the topic of the statement of purpose or letter of explanation as it's otherwise called, and the importance of that being submitted with your student permit application. We'll also be going into some of the common reasons or mistakes that people actually make on the statement of purpose or letter of explanations and how you can enhance that for your study permit application. Stay tuned and watch till the end. So before we go any further into the topic, I'd like to thank you for joining in to listen to these informative sessions. But please be reminded these are for information purposes only and not to be used as any legal advice, as each is individual background is different, right? So if you need legal advice, please book a 15-minute complimentary consultation, and we'll be happy to discuss this or any other immigration matter with you. Also, please don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and so that you can get more of these informative immigration information. All right. So let's into the meat of the matter, as we would say, right? So a statement of purpose, what is it and how does it benefit you towards your study permit application? So a statement of purpose is basically you presenting yourself before the visa officer as if you were being interviewed face to face. Remember that your paper application is the one, or your online application is the one that will speak for itself. Therefore, an explanation to get into matters of why you want to come to Canada to study, why the program of choice, how will you be financing your studies, and how will that program benefit you going back to your home country. It's all going to be dependent on your explanation that you give to the visa officer. Right. So therefore, you should always bear in mind that it should not just be a vague letter. Be as in depth as possible as you can. Some of the common mistakes we see on some of these study permit applications is that they are too generic. Somebody Googles what should a statement of purpose include, and they follow maybe those guidelines, and they just write a sentence or two for those guidelines or headlines, and then that's it. That's what they have to support their letter. Now, we always encourage you to make sure that it's not just generic, it's not just um, a letter that's stating, oh, I'm interested in coming to Canada to study, and this is the program of choice that I want to study, and then that's it, right? No, as again, remember that this is the most important part that is going to speak for you when it comes on to your study permit, right? So some of the things you should consider, does this program that you're studying has anything to do with your background in education or work experience previously, right? Um, do you have any family members living in Canada that will perhaps be able to support you? Maybe not financially, but maybe emotionally too, right? And think of other things that would stand out to the visa officer. So when you're looking at your documents, maybe your proof of funds, how you will be funding your education, bear in mind when you are writing that letter of explanation, just don't assume that because um, you presented documents for those proof of funds that you should just ignore not mentioning that into your statement of purpose, especially if you are using sponsors as part of your study permit application, right? So there are a few things that you should consider. Also, look and see if the program of choice that you're studying, how beneficial would that be should you return to your home country? Is there a demand for that occupation? Is that occupation something that you were in before and you're just enhancing your education to go back into it? Even if your long-term goal is to come here and migrate, remember the type of application that you're applying for. You are applying for a temporary resident visa application, which means that at the end of that um, period that you have requested, your intention should be to go back to your home country, right? So always bear those things in mind. So those are some of the things that you should consider to enhance your statement of purpose. Now, some of the other common reasons that we have seen is that the statement of purpose is surrounded around other things that has nothing to do with your study permit application, such as Canada is a beautiful place. I think it is great for raising my family. I like the multiculturalism. I'd like to settle here. Those are some of the things that initially you can put into it, but not emphasize on it. Because anything that indicates that you want to stay here permanently, it is going to be a red flag on your application, right? So you have to be concise and not and think about the application that you are applying for. You're not applying for a permanent resident application as yet, even if that's your long-term goal. Your first step is to apply for the study permit application. So everything should be centered around that particular program or the particular institution that you chose to study and your whole study journey in Canada. That is what your statement of purpose should be around. Not that it is a beautiful place, not that you want to settle here, nothing like that. If you want to include that, yes, it is a multicultural country, and but then you add that you would want to experience gaining, for example, gaining an education in such a country that is multicultural, right? So it's all about how you put your words together, and the visa officer should feel the emotion of your letter, which goes on to my next point. A lot of my clients, they will say, well, as an immigration consultant, can you write this letter for us? Absolutely not. This has to be in your own words. The visa officer should be feeling the emotion of that letter as if you were right in front of him speaking. And trust me, they can know if, when something is being copied from the internet, and they can know if this is something being written by somebody else. And it's highly inappropriate to have somebody else write that letter for you. What myself or anybody else can do is to give you guidelines as how to write that letter, but we absolutely cannot write that letter for you. Um, so in essence, um, to write a very good statement of purpose, and I may have mentioned it more than once in this video because I want to overemphasize it. It's that everything should be surrounded around your study in Canada. Now, there are a few clients who have chosen to study, or there may be persons like yourselves out there who are looking to study something that you have not had any education in, have not had any work experience in, and you may say, how do I, in that case, present myself and write a good statement of purpose in that regards? So usually it's advisable to stick to something that you have an education in and have some work experience in, because it's easier to convince the visa officer that way. But we do understand that there are clients who want a second career and who want a change for what they have been doing over a period of time. So yes, you can, but make sure that your statement of purpose delves right into why you want a change of career, right? So, for example, if you were previously an accountant and you're looking to be a personal support worker now, you have to give concise details. Why from business to the sciences? Why at this stage in my career I want to make such a change? And it could be a personal reason. It could be something that you personally went through. Maybe you had a mother, a relative, a friend that you assisted, and then you realize that, okay, this is something that I want to make a difference with, so I am going to make that career change, hence choosing a program that I have no experience in or no education in, right? But that your statement of purpose should indicate all the reasons why you want to change and why you're now seeking an education in that field and how that is going to build your new career. I hope this was very informative for you and you realize the importance of attaching a statement of purpose and your letter of explanation to your study permit application. We absolutely do not advise submitting a study permit application without that statement of purpose or your letter of explanation. That is what speaks for you in entirety. So don't take for granted that you may have submitted your proof of funds and you have given all the information that is necessary for a study permit application. Um, Sometimes these documents are quite a bit, but when you actually have that statement of purpose along with those documents, it explains what it is that you're submitting and why you're submitting those documents as well, as it relates to the support of your study permit application. All right. So once again, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button to know when new content is available. And I'll see you in the next video. But before I go, again, for this or any other immigration advice, please reach out to mattbeanimmigration@gmail.com or WhatsApp us at 416-991-8131. And for a limited time only, there is a 15-minute complimentary consultation that you can take advantage of as well by contacting us. Thank you and see you soon.